here's my question. Can you create? Can you implement? Can you build? Can you execute? Can you invent it? Can you imagine it and fulfill it alone? Without sharing the details, without spilling the beans, can you build something so beautiful, so life-giving, so unbelievable with just you and yourself? Or perhaps you and your coach, you and your mentor, you and that one person that you know you can depend on. I don't need to communicate this thing to the world. I just need to get it done. You can't build a business. You can't erect an empire with the wrong people and the wrong systems. We never really get to the place of releasing our brilliance, of uncovering our gifts, talents, and abilities because we don't spend enough time with ourselves, beating on our craft, becoming the best version of ourselves. We spend so much time talking about what we're going to do, posting on social media about what we think, that we spend so much time and resource and energy, and we never really become. I think most people grossly underestimate the power of working on themselves.
And you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna win. And that's life. Life without those challenges, it's just existence. Don't just exist. Go live. Eventually, inaction will cost you. But your default setting should be, I'm gonna do something. Just get up, move towards that challenge, and go attack it. Go do something that's hard.
Struggle sucks.
Depends on how you frame it. If you want freedom in your life, you have to have discipline. Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. And you may be successful, and you may not be successful, but you will be better. And the next challenge, you're gonna be more prepared for. Because we're gonna have wins, we're gonna have losses. We're gonna have successes, we're gonna have failures. We're gonna have good nights, we're gonna have bad nights. We're gonna have good relationships, we're gonna have bad relationships. We're gonna have good ideas and bad ideas. We're gonna make money, we're gonna lose money. All these things are gonna happen. And if you oscillate emotionally up and down drastically, it's gonna be problematic. Embrace those emotions, but don't let those emotions embrace you. Keep pushing through things that suck. This is a very difficult thing to do because it hurts. I'm gonna go forward, I'm not gonna quit, so I'm gonna go forward, bring it on. When you talk to people that went to SEAL training that didn't make it, most of the time, it's some reason. There's a medical reason, there's a family problem. There's very few people that look at you and say, oh, I quit because it sucked, which is what happens to the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people that don't make it through SEAL training, they didn't make it through because they quit. Your excuses will destroy you and take everything that you ever wanted from you if you let them. When your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on, then they can make you feel better, but they're not helping you. They're not helping you at all. This went wrong, this failed, didn't accomplish this, and it's not the fault of my boss, it's not the fault of my girlfriend, it's not the fault of my parents, it's not the fault of the weather, it's my fault. And I'm gonna take ownership of it, and I'm gonna fix it. That's what extreme ownership is. Because when when you look around at your life and you look around at your job and your financial situation and your relationship and your physical health, and when you look at all those things and all the problems that you may have with those things, and you say, the reason I have all of those problems is because of me, that can hurt. That can sting. And a lot of times our ego rejects that and makes excuses and lies. And then we don't have to change anything. And then nothing changes. When the excuses all go away and people can actually confront the fact that this is all because of me, it hurts, but is also unbelievably empowering. Because the more discipline you have in your life, the more freedom you will end up with. So if you lack the discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you will end up being a slave to disease. If you lack the discipline to work hard, save your money, you will end up a slave to finances. If you lack the discipline to manage your time correctly, you will end up with no free time. If you have self-discipline, if you have the discipline to save your money and work hard and invest your money properly, if you have the discipline to manage your time correctly and not waste a bunch of time, if you have the discipline to exercise and eat healthy, you will end up with freedom. And you're going to start to progress in every aspect of your life. And you'll see that if you have that kind of discipline right now, you're going to end up with freedom. If you have discipline, you will attain freedom. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. And if you don't have that kind of discipline, and you don't work hard, and you don't exercise, and you don't apply yourself, you're gonna end up shackled. So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You gotta start walking because the perspective's not gonna change. You have to start moving forward. But standing there, lost, and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
I think it's really important because as men, we get conflicting messages about emotion and how to express it and what that looks like. And there's a lot of men struggling right now.
Every human faces challenges, and you don't know what they've been through. Suppressing them isn't going to help, and nor is letting them run your life. Because you're sad, now you're going to make a bunch of bad decisions because you're sad. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You're sad, okay. You get emotional sometimes, okay. Got it. Now, get control of your emotions and carry on with your life. And sometimes you're going to get hit with those waves. And that's okay. Oh, I'm having an emotional moment right now. There's something wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. The other extreme is, oh, I'm letting my emotions run my life and I'm making a bunch of bad decisions. And my excuse is, well, you know, I lost some friends or I had this traumatic experience happen to me. That's why I'm doing, that's just an excuse. And it's a very easy excuse. Guess what? It's time to carry on. Remember, don't dwell. I'm in control. This is my life. If you are in the problem, you won't see the solution to the problem. Take a step back, detach from the chaos, detach from the mayhem, detach from your emotions, detach from your ego, and be able to assess the best way to execute. That is the job of a leader. If you take any trait of a human being and you take it to an extreme, masculine or feminine or otherwise, you take it to an extreme, it's going to be a problem. Is it good to have no emotions whatsoever? No, that's called a sociopath. Is it good to let your emotions run your life and make your decisions based on your emotions? No, that's not good either. What do we want to be as a human, as a man? We want to be balanced. It's much easier to be extreme. It's much easier to say, oh, no emotions, cool, and turn them off. That's easier. Or total emotion mayhem, that's easier. it's harder to find balance. It's harder to find balance in business, it's harder to find balance in life, it's hard to find balance. But you have to be balanced. Because what I want is for the team to win. So be balanced. You're going to be okay.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
I'll show you how much you can truly burn. And they left you for dead. I know what that feels like, to be left for dead after you gave everything you had.
Tomorrow night, I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy.
There's the title. Still undisputed. They will not see you coming as you rise, as you work every single day, tirelessly. Work! 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 Work, damn it! Work! 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 I told you! You don't know me, son? Get it! 18! You don't know me, son? Get it! 19! You know me, son? Yeah! Lose one more to carry the post.
What is well-being? When do you really feel well in your life? When do you truly feel well? When you're very happy, you're well. Even if you're physically ill, you're still well, isn't it? Even if you're medically diagnosed as ill, you're very happy right now, you're feeling well, isn't it? So fundamentally, well-being means a certain level of joyfulness, certain exuberance of life. What is happiness? Many ways of describing happiness, but only those who are happy know what it means to be happy. There is nobody who has not been happy. Everybody's been happy. But the problem is they're not able to maintain it. That's all, isn't it? Everybody's been happy. In the last 24 hours, how many moments of joy have you known? 1, 2, 3, how many? Maybe you can count on your fingers. Many people have nothing to count. When you were 5 years of age, a child, how many moments of joy did you know in 24 hours? Lots of them, isn't it? Somebody had to make you unhappy. Now somebody has to make you happy, isn't it? The whole equation has gotten reversed somehow. All this effort of life, everything that you did, education, career, business, family, whatever you did, everything was in pursuit of happiness, is it so? Everything that humanity has done on this planet is in pursuit of happiness, is it so? In the last 100 years, we have done too much on this planet. With the use of science and technology, we have changed the very face of this planet. Today, we have the kind of comforts and conveniences that no other generation could ever even imagine. Yes? What royalty could not afford 100 years ago, today average citizens have, isn't it so? Aren't most of you driving chariots with 100, 200 horses? Yes? Even kings could not afford this. But are we any happier? We are definitely the most comfortable generation ever on this planet, is it so, physically? But are we also the most joyful generation? So it's not worked. Science and technology has brought enormous amount of comfort and convenience to our lives. Things that we could not imagine just 25 years ago are just a living reality today, isn't it? But are we any more joyful? No. And all these comforts and conveniences have not come easy, they've come at a tremendous cost to every other life on this planet. Yes, every creature, from plant to animal to everything, including human beings, have paid an enormous price to create these comforts and conveniences, and we are not even happy. What is the point? We are literally making a bonfire of this planet. If you are ecstatic, it's okay, burn the planet, it's all right. We are not even happy. I think it's time to really look at it, isn't it? Why are we burning it up?
Look at yourself and see, right now, somebody else, if they determine what should happen around you, you feel like a slave. But right now, somebody else is determining what should happen within you. Is this not slavery? Somebody can decide whether you're happy or unhappy. Is this not slavery? Somebody can decide whether you will be a pleasant human being or an unpleasant human being. Is this not slavery? What happens within you, somebody else determines. This is the worst form of slavery, isn't it? Isn't it so? It is just that because everybody is like that, it seems to be normal. It is not. It is not normal. Just because everybody is like that, it does not become normal. This human being, life around you will not happen, will never happen 100% the way you want it. And it should not happen. Because if everything happens the way you want it, where do I go? Life around you will never happen 100% the way you want it, and it should not. Unless you're living with machines, life will not happen, and even those machines will freak on you, isn't it? And the machines troubling you every day for something or the other, they do. So, outside will never happen 100% the way you want it, and if your happiness or your joyfulness, or let's not use all these so many words, essentially it is pleasantness versus unpleasantness. For pleasantness we have many names, we call it peace, happiness, joy, bliss, ecstasy. For unpleasantness we have many names, stress, anxiety, fear, tension, whatever else, madness, whatever. Pleasantness versus unpleasantness. If your pleasantness is dependent upon what happens around you, the chances of you being pleasant all the time is remote, isn't it? In the very nature of things, it's not possible. Only if you are able to create a distance between this and that, it is possible in the sense, whenever things don't work, there is a habit in lots of people, they will look up. The whole world is looking up. Looking up. You're always looking up in the wrong direction. You're invariably looking up in the wrong direction, isn't it so? Maybe at a certain moment of whatever Greenwich Mean Time, 0 hours, when you looked up, maybe you hit the heaven. Rest of the time you're always looking in the wrong direction, isn't it so? So in this cosmic space, is there somebody who knows which is up and which is down? Does somebody know? Huh? Is there somewhere, is it marked this side up? Nobody knows which is up, which is down, it's just an assumption, isn't it? Do you know really which is north, which is south? In the real sense, do you know what is north and south? It is just for our convenience, we just fixed it, isn't it? Yes or no? Do you know what's east and west? No. Do you know what is forward and backward? You do not know. None of these things you know. There is only one thing you can be certain of right now. This is, you know what is outward, what is inward. This one thing you're sure, isn't it? This is inward, this is outward. This is the only privilege you have. What is outward, what is inward, this is all you know. Just in case someday if you get enlightened, you will lose that also. That's what happened to me. Now I don't know which is inward, which is outward, which is me, which is not me. That's why I'm all over the world. Because I don't know whether this is me or that is me. Where do you see me right now? Within yourself. Where do you hear me right now? Within yourself. Where have you seen the whole world? Within yourself. Have you ever experienced anything outside of yourself? Everything that ever happened to you, darkness and light happened within you, pain and pleasure happened within you, joy and misery happened within you. Have you ever experienced anything outside of yourself? So what I am asking you is, what happens within you? Who should determine how it should happen? What happens within you? Who should determine how this should happen? Somebody else? Definitely you should determine what should happen within this, isn't it? So if you determine what's happening within this, your whole experience of life will be determined by you, nobody else but you, isn't it? The events around you may not be determined by you, but how your experience of life is on this planet is 100% determined by you if you take charge of this. If you leave it loose, just about anybody will determine it. They will. Not consciously, they also like you by accident.
How does one manage to find happiness?
One simple thing is, every human experience has a chemical basis to it. What you call as peace is one kind of chemistry, what you call as happiness or joy is another kind of chemistry, ecstasy is one kind of chemistry, agony is another kind of chemistry, anxiety another kind of chemistry, stress another kind of chemistry. All levels of pleasantness and unpleasantness is rooted in a certain chemical background within you.
Okay.
Or in other words, what you call as this is a certain chemical soup. The question is only, are you a great soup or a lousy soup? Now, if I give soup-making ingredients to 10 different people, the same ingredients, 10 people will not produce the same soup.
Sure.
10 soups will taste in 10 different ways, though the ingredients are same. Similarly, all of us are made with the same ingredients, but see in how many different ways we made ourselves. So it's time to pay attention to soup making, that this is a great soup, this is not a lousy soup. If you establish a chemistry of blissfulness,
Right.
that's how you will be. This is what we're teaching people. We are not advising people to be happy or peaceful. We are teaching them how to engineer your chemistry the way you want it. You create a chemistry of blissfulness, then why are you bothered about being happy? That's how it'll be. Not a single day passes for me without witnessing tears of joy and love around me. Every day, somebody will be shedding tears of love and joy. I don't think there's a better way to live in this world, and all of us should strive to create our own circles of joyfulness and pleasantness around us. Because if you're not joyful by your own nature, if you're always going around with the fear of suffering, as long as fear of suffering is there within you, you will never walk your life with full stride. It'll always be half a step. Most human beings have crippled themselves simply because of fear of suffering. What will happen to me is always the question. Whatever happens, this is how I will be. If this assurance comes to you, only now you will want to scale the peaks of life and see, what about it? If it happens, makes no difference to you. If it doesn't happen, makes no difference to you. That's when you would like to really explore every dimension of life. So first and foremost thing is this, that your way of being is not determined by what's around you. If you bring this one aspect to you, there is no fear of suffering. Once there is no fear of suffering, you will traverse the breadth and length of this life without hesitation.
The greatest chemical factory on the planet is here. If you are a good manager of this, you can create any experience that you want from within and also heighten your faculties. This means you are making your creation more significant than the larger creation. This means you must suffer. If you don't suffer, I'll be disappointed. And I want you to know, the greatest evil right now on the planet is not evil, it's ignorance. You can't really figure what all these people want. Look at yourself. Right now you're thinking you want to become an engineer. Let's say right now I make you an engineer, this moment. Then you're thinking you need a job. I got your job. Then you're thinking you need a promotion. I got you. Then you think you need an award. I got you. Then you think you need wealth. I got you right now. Everything that you can dream of, I got you right now. What do you want now? Yeah, I can do that for you.
Let's say I want a job.
Huh?
I'm striving for a job right now.
Yes. Now, we are looking at the end game, right? You got everything you wanted right now. Things that you can imagine, things that you cannot imagine right now, everything you got right now. What do you want right now?
I wouldn't know what to do.
Just look at it, huh? See, when you say this, what it means is, all you want in your life, what you're seeking is struggle. To get a job, it must take 3 years, then you will feel, wow, I got a job. Look at all the people who have good jobs, look at them walking on the street. Are they going blissfully, dripping ecstasy? Hello? Miserable guys, they're getting blood pressure, going to work. They're getting all kinds of ailments, they're freaking out. Yes? So what do you want?
I don't know anymore.
That's good. I do not know, I like that. Because actually you do not know. Everybody keeps fooling themselves at every step in their life, thinking, what I want is, I want to become an engineer, I want to become an engineer. It'll keep you busy for 5–7 years. Then I want job, it keeps you busy for another 1 or 2 years. Then I want this kind of job, that kind of job, that keeps you busy for another 8–10 years. I want that much money, that much wealth, that keeps you busy for another 25 years. I want this kind of girl, that kind of girl, that kind of boy, that keeps you busy for a few years. Then children will come, I want my child to become this, this, this. Well, we are preparing for your funeral. You need to understand just this. Right now, you may be giving all kinds of contexts to your life, but essentially, what you call as my life right now is just a certain combination of time and energy. Yes? As you sit here, time is rolling away for all of us. Can you roll it back? You're an engineer. Can you roll it back? Yesterday was not fruitful, so I'll roll it back. Can you? It's rolling away for all of us. As we sit here, what is ticking away here is not the clock. What is ticking away is our life, isn't it? Since we came and sat here, you're half an hour closer to your grave. It doesn't matter how young you are getting there, isn't it? Yes or no? So it's a certain amount of time, and that time nobody can manage because it rolls at the same pace for everybody. You do something, you don't do anything, you sleep, you're awake, you're happy, you're unhappy, do whatever the hell you want, it just keeps rolling mercilessly, isn't it? So there is energy that you call as life. This you can pitch it at different levels. If you're like this, I'm talking about the classroom expression, you know. If you're like this, 24 hours feel like 1,000 years. But have you seen on a certain day you're very happy, 24 hours, poof, went off like a moment? Yes or no? So, time is a very relative experience in individual subjective experiences. If you're joyful, if you live 100 years, it feels like a few moments, it's gone. Only miserable people will have a long life. Because if you're miserable, you'll always feel life is too long that you will want to cut it short. But if you're joyful, the possibility that a human being holds, before you look around, it's over, really. But what possibility this carries? So what you need to manage is your energies, because life is a certain amount of energy, it's not limitless, but it can be enhanced. If you function at one level of energy, what you do in 10 years' time, if you function at a different level of energy, the same thing you can do in 1 year's time. So if both people live for 100 years, in terms of impact and profoundness of experience, one has lived for 1,000 years, another has lived for 100 miserable years. So this is all you can do. You may think right now, engineer, this one, that one, these are all limited contexts you're setting for yourself. Fundamentally as a life, it's just time and energy, isn't it? The question is what you make out of it. Do you want to make something out of it? There's no compulsion you have to make something out of it. When I say making something out of it is not a social phenomena I'm talking. What should you become in the society? That's not what I'm talking. Fundamentally, you have come here in terms of life is you want to experience life. Question is how profoundly. Right now, if people want to experience life, what are they experimenting with? They will experiment, not this, this. Yeah, I know you guys. Or they'll experiment this, or they'll experiment something else. What they will experiment is how to down your faculties. You know, United States has made marijuana legal in a few states. So when I went to a few colleges or universities, they're asking me, Sadhguru, why don't you pitch? Someone like you must legalize marijuana for us. I said, no problem, we'll make marijuana legal, cocaine legal, meth legal. What's the problem? No problem. Only thing is, why is it that you want it to be legal? So that you can smoke up and come to the college, right? It's fine. But let's say you want to fly a small airplane. The pilot comes smoked up. You want to fly with him? Because the guy is already flying without the airplane. Okay, you're not getting the point. You need a major surgery and the surgeon comes smoked up. You want the surgery? Oh no. Then you clearly understand this lowers your faculties. I want all of you to look at this. Do you believe you can enhance life by lowering your faculties? Hello? If you want to enhance this life, you must super enhance your faculties. That's the only and only way you can enhance this life. You cannot lower your faculties and think your life is getting enhanced. What kind of stupidity is that? simply because it makes you a little like this. I can make you feel like this all the time. How's that? No substance, I'm always like this only. Look at my eyes, I'm stoned. Yeah. Never touch a substance but fully stoned all the time. Because I want you to understand this, the greatest chemical factory on the planet is here. If you are a good manager of this, you can create any experience that you want from within and also heighten your faculties. If you are having an experience, even to experience that, your faculty should be heightened, isn't it? Is this the greatest chemical factory on the planet, most sophisticated? Do you agree with me? Are they chemical engineers? So I'm asking, how are you managing your system? What have you done? We gave you such a sophisticated machine. Have you read the user's manual at least? No. Blindly do this and then you think pumping something is going to make this better? No. Believe me, the only and only way you can enhance this life is that your faculties are super bright. The way you see, the way you hear, the way you smell, the way you taste, and the way you touch. If this is enhanced, is life enhanced? In many ways, there is much more to it. But I'm saying from what you know from your experience, suppose you could see twice better than somebody who's sitting next to you, is your life enhanced? If you could taste better than other people, is life enhanced? If you could feel better, is it life enhanced? If you could hear better, is life enhanced? On this level you understand this, but there are many other dimensions of human faculties. If you enhance this, if you sit here, you will be blissed out simply sitting here. You wouldn't want to touch any damn thing because just sitting here is the greatest experience of your life. So, about what is the end game? If you had everything, what would you want? If you had everything that you can ever dream of, everything is right here, what would you want? You must think, isn't it? I won't supply you with an answer. If you do not invest that much thought into your life, that means you're super short-sighted. Hello? This happened to Gautama the Buddha. You heard of Gautama the Buddha? Because of some astrological prediction that his father heard, that he may either become a great emperor or a great sage, and he wanted him to become a great emperor, he protected this boy and put him in a separate palace where it's all luxury, everything that you can dream of, everything there. Got him married to a very pretty young woman, everything on. No, he should not see any suffering. But one day he just went out. He saw one old man and he asked, why is this guy like this? His chauffeur or his chariot driver said, oh, everybody becomes like that after a certain time. He said, what, me? I'm a young prince, will I become like that? Hey, yeah, everybody will become like that. It shook him. Then he saw a man who's suffering with some kind of disease, ailment. Now, why is that guy like that? He said, it'll happen to a lot of people. Who it will hit, there is no prediction. Anybody can become ill. Most people think it happens to other people. No, it can happen. He saw a funeral, a dead body. What is that? He said, that is inevitable, everybody will die. Do you also know? You will also die? No, because most people believe other people die. No, intellectually they know, but they think they're forever. No, you must be conscious, you're mortal. Mortal means you have a limited amount of time and energy. If you're always conscious about this, how would you organize your time and energy? You decide. If you're conscious about it. If you think you're a superhuman being, you're not going to die, other people will die, all the best.